LoreWarrior Online, EYK-45A, Eyleuka. Overview. While the Trinity Alliance had served the magistracy of Canopus well, most of their battle-mech designs were second-hand units from the Confederation. In response, a group of Canopian design teams began working on a new medium mech. After half a decade of work, they had barely managed to get beyond prototyping for a design named after a legendary Ethiopian queen. Meanwhile, the Confederation was in need of a mech for its own special operations units. The Trinity Alliance brought the two groups together and got the Eyleuka to production status, but the Canopians weren't happy with the weapons loadout. Revised again, the mech finally emerged as an obvious result of design by committee and through compromise. Capabilities. The Eyleuka has good ground speed for its size, but with 7 improved jump jets, it's superior in the air. Almost 10 tons of stealth armor protect it well, especially at long range, but it isn't enough to make it a brawler. The weapons payload is where the Eyleuka can shine. Based on a single ER large laser and MML-9, it has good long-range firepower and can keep up the barrage with the launcher at short range while switching to a pair of ER medium lasers. 3 tons of ammunition for the launcher allow for flexibility, such as mine or inferno ammunition, while a tag unit can be used to bring artillery to bear. The Eyleuka has many critics though. While damage to the head-mounted systems, without the entire head being destroyed, is quite rare, the dual ammo bins and small cockpit make many pilots cramped and quite nervous. Additionally, the 10 double heatsinks are wholly inadequate. Finally, the XL engine can be vulnerable, though the odd placement of the ammunition offers no more risk than the mechs with case, equipment, and XL engines. Deployment. In the Magistracy, the Eyleuka has seen wide deployment, starting with the Light Horse and Fusilier units. The Eyleuka first seen combats during Operation Sovereign Justice, used as a secret raider and guerrilla fighter. The Death Commandos, Red Lancers, and House Imara were the first Confederation unit to receive this mech. Variants. The original Canopian-designed Eyleuka, the 4 Alpha, was quite different. With only a dozen prototypes that exist, it was 20% faster, had a mask system, but it only jumped 180 meters. And while it lacked stealth armor, it compensated with additional 2 tons of it, and the weapons load was somewhat different, mounting a single ER large and medium lasers and 8 machine guns in 2 arrays, while the electronics originally included an active probe. The 35A, the heavily Capellan-influenced design, lacked the compact gyro systems and featured dual arm-mounted LRM-10s and a pair of ER medium lasers. Detroit has recently begun offering the 45 Bravo, which replaces the MML launcher with a head-mounted snub-nosed PPC and 3 more heatsinks. The production of this one has been quite limited due to the small number of PPCs imported from the rather distant Draconis Combine. Notable mech warriors. Mech warrior Carol Trevelyan. Rumoured to be the estranged daughter of the legendary Paula Trevelyan, Carol bounced around MAF units until finding a home in the first Canopian Light Horse. In the past few years, she's begun to show considerable ruthlessness on the field of battle, while being amenable and friendly with fellow troops. There were complaints in other units where she was assigned an Eyleuka to replace her ancient dervish, but Colonel de Summersville has shown he's far more interested in results than scuttlebutt. Mech warrior John Tiger Hudek. Assigned to long patrols for the 3rd Canopian Light Horse, Tiger Hudek set up ambushes during Operation Sovereign Justice, using his missiles to lay down minefields and infernos to cripple larger units. He complains about being assigned to the death by head explosion mech, but he's also managed to be effective despite his trepidation. Canopian leaders were shocked when he managed to return from missions with an intact mech, but having used up all of his ammo. Starting with the bins near the cockpit, reviews of his battle ROM footage shown to have that he rarely wastes any of his missiles. And finally we have Salwe Janice Aberman. After being cashiered out of McCarran's armoured cavalry for her poor attitude, Salwe Aberman was able to catch on with St. Cyr's armoured hussars, who were desperate for quality mech warriors. And while her past failure has blunted her antagonistic personality, humility still isn't her strong suit. She's managed to wear out her catapult fighting pirates and Blakists, leading to her now new replacement in the Eyleuka. Stat-wise, it's a 55-ton machine. Its chassis is the Dynastic 55E. Its power plant is the ER Motors 275 Extra Light with a cruise speed of 54 kph and a max speed of 86. Its jump jets are the Nike Double Jet 9s with a 210 meter jump capacity. Armour is the Hellespont Light Stealth. Armament is a single Diverse Optics Sunbeam ER Large Laser, 2 Diverse Optics Type 2 ER Medium Lasers, 1 Spencer Selectable 9-tube, and 1 Diverse Optics Tag. It's manufactured by Detroit Consolidated Networks on Detroit. Meanwhile, its communication system is the Foxcom 75, and the targeting and tracking is the Foxfire 180, a middle-of-the-road derivative system of a much superior model deployed in the inner sphere. Renamed the Foxfire, it's actually rumoured to be one of the more prolific Apple Churchill models used on things like the Xiaoyu, which this isn't a surprise, let's face it. The Trinity Alliance has given the Magistracy access to a fair amount of equipment, but quite why they decided to repurpose something like the Apple Churchill model, which admittedly is itself a somewhat archaic system that has existed for a fair amount of time now within the Confederation in numerous different forms, but updating it with their own firmware package and a few of their own bells and whistles, let's say, and renaming it to the Foxfire is a rather amusing thing among us aficionados in the targeting and tracking system community. We do get a little bit of a joke, a giggle out of it when we do mention accidentally, have you got the Apple Churchill software? I mean, the Foxfire. It's very funny, especially when you try to install updates and it comes up with the Apple Churchill logo. Sometimes because it glitches out. It's very amusing. You have to almost be entirely involved in the community to get it. Anyway, this is a mech that has a walk of 5, a run of 8, and a jump of 7. It has 10 double heat sinks for 20 heat dissipation. Its armour is 9 on the head, with 22 on the CT and 7 on the rear, 16 on the side torsos with 5 on the rear, 15 on the arms, and 21 on the legs. The ER Large is located in the right arm, and the 2 ER Mediums are split between the right arm and the right torso. The MML-9 launcher, which is rather obvious on the artbook, is in the left arm, while the ammunition is evenly split between the head and the left arm as well. 1311 and 2622. It has a tag laser in the left torso and a Guardian ECM suite mounted in the CT, with the improved jump jets being split between the right, left, and CT. It's an unusual looking mech, but you know what? I don't dislike it. I actually think it's got something going on. I'm not quite sure what. It's also such an eclectic set of equipment. It perfectly fits a Capellan kind of mindset of just throwing a bunch of shit together, what they've got, and then producing a mech from it. The Eyleuka, it's different. Quite interesting design. The MML system is also one that is something that isn't very commonly encountered until a little bit later on. It's quite prolific in a lot of pre-existing battle mech variants produced by the Capellans, but having units that are built from the ground up to use the MML system aren't that common in BattleTech. And basically, the MML, for anyone who doesn't know, is literally just the clan's the inner sphere equivalent of the clan ATM system. It's capable. It's the multi-missile launcher, I think it stands for. It's basically capable of firing several different ammunition types, whether you want it to fire short-range missiles to switch to medium or long-range, and that can have, as it says here, it can have mine launchers, inferno rounds, whatever different types are available to it. It's one of the advantages of having that kind of tactical flexibility on the field. I mean, I suppose it's not bad overall. It's basically playing the role of a kind of very standard medium mech, something like classic stuff like a Centurion, for instance, with a couple of long-range options and then some backup medium weapons, for instance, that type of design. So yeah, and it fits, I think, well for something like the Canopians, who are slowly sort of dragging themselves up to kind of technical parity with the Great Houses. So it makes sense that they would have a unit that's got some nice little extras in there, stuff that they wouldn't probably normally have regular access to, stealth armor, for instance. Obviously, stealth armor does mean the machine runs a little hot by comparison, because the stealth armor does cause a few heat issues. But yeah, it's pretty good overall. Not too bad. I don't dislike it. I'd be interested to see what they would do with a visually updated model of the Eyleuka, because it's so unique that I wouldn't tweak this too much visually. I think it works. Somehow it works. I don't know why. It just does. For me, anyway. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks for listening as always, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.